This is going to be a full review of this Homdox heavy duty garment rack. It's basically an adjustable clothing rack with wire storage shelves that can be used in a closet, or you can just use it as freestanding storage. But before we get to all that, let's take it from the top with the unboxing and assembly. It comes in a relatively small box, but everything inside is well secured with zip ties. I do however wish they had added a little bit more padding around it. I'll show you why later. The first step is to remove all the zip ties and separate all the parts. It does come with a single page instruction manual, which you may or may not need depending on if you want to follow the assembly instructions exactly or do your own thing. This is a modular unit and you can mix and match everything to your desired setup. For this video though, I'll assemble everything as the manual instructs. The first step is to take all these pipes and attach the adjustable foot pads to them. I screwed them in all the way and then adjusted later as needed. Then you attach these clips with the arrow pointed up away from the foot pad. You want to attach these to all 4 pipes and make sure you attach these at the same level. Then you take one of the racks and slide in the pipes from the bottom, which is indicated by this notch in the rack. I like that they did this as I assembled some other racks that didn't, and it was a bit annoying to try and figure out which one was the bottom. But this makes it nice and simple. So then you're going to want to repeat the process again until you have 2 of these. Then you're going to take the pipes labeled C and screw them into the tops of the other pipes. And then you take the pipes labeled D and attach those to the tops of the C pipes, until you have something that looks like this. At this point, you can start attaching the clips to the level you want the rest of your shelves to be at. You can choose any height you want, it doesn't have to be the way they show it in the manual. I recommend using a tape measure to get the height, although you can count the notches on the pipe if you don't have a tape measure. Keep going until you have all 3 shelves attached. Once that's done, you will attach these 2 clip pieces on one side of the shelf, and this will be where your hanging rod attaches. You will want to make sure it's on the same level for both shelves. Then you take these pieces and slide them onto the clips. Once that's done, you can attach the hooks by setting the clips and then just sliding the hook part on top of it. The hooks can face either into the shelf or out of it. I prefer them facing in. Once that's done, if you're following the instructions, you place the clips on the tops of all 8 pipes and attach the final racks on them. After all the racks are attached, you will need to attach the extendable hanger rods, which are pretty simple to do. You just take the leftover foot pads and use them as attachment points onto the top shelf, and then for that middle rod, you use the 2 smaller pieces you attached to the shelves earlier. You just put them through the openings and they fit on any opening you choose, but I placed them right down the middle. The top rod is a bit uncomfortable to place at the top as the rack gets in the way a little bit, but it's manageable. The last step is to open these little hooks and attach them to the last hanger rods, which are part H. I found it much easier to loosely thread on the hooks, making sure they are facing toward each other, then place them on the rack and tighten them in place. Once you attach one to each side, you're done with the assembly process. Now, before I go into giving my opinion on this rack, I will say I got this in exchange for a review, and while it doesn't change what I say about it, I like to give a disclaimer before giving my opinion on a product. So, in my opinion, this is actually a really good product. My only negative on this shelf is that I wish it was packaged a bit better, as one of the racks did get bent a little bit during shipping. But it's a metal shelf and it still worked just fine. Taking into account the fact that all the shelves can be placed pretty much anywhere you want it, it definitely gives it a lot of utility. The central hanging rods are extendable, so you can make it fit almost any size closet. They go from 21.65 inches to 42.91 inches. So my overall impression with this is very positive, and once you load it down, it's very sturdy and a space-saving product that has a total capacity of about 870 pounds, and it was easy to assemble. So all that adds up to a win in my book.